The illness of 90-Day Fiancé star Jasmine's infant has generated significant attention. Following 90-Day Fiancé star Jasmine's abandonment of her newborn and subsequent marriage to another individual, her child has fallen very unwell and is presently hospitalized. Despite Jasmine's haste to reach the hospital upon observing the child's physical state, Matt prevented her from seeing him. Jasmine's former spouse Gino articulated his contentment over the occurrence, stating, "It is preferable not to entrust the child to a mother capable of abandoning her young offspring." This episode has prompted extensive discourse on social media, with numerous individuals endorsing Gino's statement. The realm of reality television was disrupted when 90-Day Fiancé actress Jasmine astonished fans by abandoning her newborn infant in Panama to wed American entrepreneur Matt in a rapid Las Vegas ceremony. What was intended as her fantasy retreat rapidly devolved into controversy and anguish with the revelation that her infant had become gravely unwell and was urgently transported to a hospital. In Panama, Jasmine's young son, Leo, was under the guardianship of her ex-husband, Gino, and his relatives. Gino, previously depicted as the reserved and frequently misconstrued partner on the show, emerged as the exclusive caretaker and defender of the child. He shared an enigmatic statement on Instagram. "Certain individuals pursue love while neglecting their obligations. Not I. I safeguard my own." Jasmine boarded a flight back to Panama within hours. Witnesses at Tocumen International Airport reported that she seemed pallid, agitated, and alone, contrasting sharply with the dazzling reality star image familiar to her followers. However, the true drama transpired at the hospital. Matt, who accompanied Jasmine on her return journey, reportedly engaged in a furious dispute with Gino at the hospital door. Tensions escalated when Gino, supported by hospital security and legal documentation, denied Jasmine access to Leo. She relinquished her rights the instant she departed, Gino allegedly stated, maintaining his position at the pediatric ICU wing. The youngster wept nightly for her. Now that he is ill, she wishes to assume a maternal role? Reddit and TikTok users deliberated Jasmine's conduct, some labeling her as selfish and reckless, while others conveyed sympathy, asserting that she was duped by Matt and profoundly regretted her choice. In an emotional, exclusive interview broadcast on a local Panamanian news channel, Jasmine ultimately spoke her thoughts. "I was disoriented. I believed love signified transcending the past," she remarked, her voice faltering. "However, upon seeing my infant through that glass, I realized I had committed the gravest error of my existence. I am indifferent to the cameras, contracts, or the spectacle. I only desire to reclaim my role as his mother." Gino, meanwhile, remained impervious. Via his attorney, he declared his intention to seek full custody of Leo, citing desertion and emotional distress. His legal team submitted voice conversations and text messages in which Jasmine purportedly informed pals that she required space to live her life and that parenthood was too suffocating. Concurrently, Matt has ceased communication across all platforms. A close associate disclosed to tabloids that he is reevaluating the marriage following the public response and Jasmine's emotional distress. "She is no longer the woman I wed," Matt allegedly stated. "She is overwhelmed by guilt. I am beginning to question whether she ever genuinely loved me or was merely escaping from her own self." The producers of 90-Day Fiancé have suggested a potential spin-off series titled Jasmine's Redemption, which will provide an unvarnished perspective on her efforts to restore trust with her child, manage legal disputes, and redefine her identity outside of reality television. As infant Leo persists in his recuperation at the hospital, it is evident that this transcends mere reality television. It is a true narrative of affection, bereavement, and the protracted journey towards absolution. After months of turmoil, emotional distress, prolonged disputes, and notable familial conflict, Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo were ultimately wed. Against all odds, they exchanged vows in an intimate yet poignant ceremony marked by a blend of tears and stress. It was now time to commence their honeymoon, an opportunity to reconnect, rejuvenate, and ideally revive the enchantment that initially united them. They departed for Costa Rica, a destination Jasmine had long aspired to visit. Gino, donning his characteristic Panama hat at the beach, had orchestrated a week replete with romantic endeavors, ziplining through the rainforest, intimate beach meals, and a clandestine spa hideaway situated deep within the bush. Initially, everything seemed flawless. The couple consumed coconut water by the ocean, captured selfies with howler monkeys in the background, and engaged in late-night intimate conversations beneath the stars. Gino astonished Jasmine with a diamond necklace he had discreetly saved for, and for the first time in an extended period, Jasmine genuinely felt secure. However, the tranquility was ephemeral. On the third night, Jasmine discovered a note on Gino's iPad from his cousin Tony, who had never quite embraced Jasmine. The communication stated, "I remain distrustful of her. Ensure you possess a contingency plan in the event of adverse circumstances." Jasmine erupted. She confronted Gino in their cabana, her voice resonating across the trees. "Does your family still believe I am exploiting you?" Gino attempted to soothe her, stating that Tony was merely being overprotective. However, Jasmine was unyielding. She gathered her belongings and exited abruptly, traversing the beach barefoot while weeping. After an exhaustive search lasting many hours, Gino discovered her seated by the water, trembling and weeping. He enveloped her in a towel and murmured, "I did not travel to Costa Rica to lose you, Jasmine. I arrived here to begin anew, beside you." They conversed until dawn, ultimately addressing their profound worries and insecurities. Jasmine acknowledged her ongoing difficulty in trusting Gino, particularly in light of their previous betrayals. Gino confessed that he frequently felt inundated, torn between allegiance to his family and his affection for her. By the week's conclusion, a transformation had occurred. The honeymoon did not resolve all issues. However, it served as a reminder of the reasons they endeavored so fervently to unite initially. On the concluding evening, while fireworks illuminated the sky at a beach celebration, Gino grasped Jasmine's hand and stated, "Let us cease our struggle against the world. Let us commence advocating for one another." Jasmine grinned despite her tears. "Only if you pledge to refrain from checking your emails during dinner." He chuckled. Agreement. Nonetheless, Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo have consistently represented a discordant duo, intensity and insecurity, tranquility and tumult. Their affection was genuine, yet their disparities were equally pronounced. Throughout their 90-day fiancé adventure, their most intense confrontations evolved into iconic moments that captivated audiences. The situation commenced with an innocuous message, or so Gino believed. One night in Panama, Jasmine perused Gino's tablet and uncovered screenshots of his dialogue with an ex-girlfriend. Her eyes expanded in size. He not only sent her old photographs of Jasmine but also described Jasmine as a little crazy but attractive. A conflagration ignited in the chamber. "Did you transmit my intimate photographs to your former partner?" Jasmine shrieked, hurling Gino's Michigan cap across the room. Gino stuttered. "It was not as such. I was merely conversing." Jasmine's voice was imbued with tears and fury. "You degraded me." The altercation persisted for several hours. Producers attempted to intercede. Jasmine tore a poster from the wall. Gino secured himself in the bathroom. It concluded with Jasmine preparing her things. However, she did not depart. Gino presented Jasmine with a meticulously produced document. "It is merely a prenuptial agreement," he remarked nonchalantly, "to safeguard us both." Jasmine's countenance flushed with rage. "Do you believe I am associated with you for financial gain? After all that I sacrificed for you? I am merely exercising caution," Gino contended. "What if circumstances deteriorate? Then allow it to proceed south immediately," she exclaimed. They vociferated at one another in the driveway while neighbors observed. Jasmine shredded the document and scattered the fragments into the air like confetti of treachery. Gino resided on the couch for a week. Months later, following a brief interlude of tranquility, Jasmine revealed unexpectedly, "I desire to have a baby." At this moment, Gino, anxious and agitated, responded, "I am unprepared for that." Not at this time. You are 53 years old, Gino. When will you be prepared? Jasmine retorted. I desire for us to achieve stability first. I relinquished my employment, my homeland, my existence for you. And now you utter this? The altercation was so vociferous that a neighbor contacted the police, suspecting it to be a marital conflict. Jasmine wept herself to slumber. Gino departed for a walk at midnight and did not return till dawn. The subsequent eruption occurred during a supper with friends. A waitress smiled excessively warmly at Gino. Jasmine observed it. She erupted. Why is she engaging in flirtation with you in my presence? She is merely fulfilling her professional responsibilities, Gino stated, evidently mortified. You returned her smile, Gino. I observed it. The dispute became public. The restaurant became completely silent. Jasmine exited abruptly. Gino trailed behind her, offering apologies throughout the journey. Following the numerous altercations, one evening Jasmine inquired serenely, Do you genuinely trust me? Gino faltered. I desire to, yet at times, I am uncertain. The hesitation was profoundly impactful. After all this time, you continue to disbelieve me? She inquired gently, tears welling in her eyes. If you truly loved me, you would not doubt my fidelity, Jasmine murmured. Gino remained silent. Jasmine rose, seized her suitcase, and remarked, Perhaps we both merit tranquilly more than we merit one another. She departed that evening. The door shut. Quietude. Nonetheless, Jasmine Pineda believed the most challenging phase had concluded. Following numerous visa interviews, familial conflicts, and extensive disputes regarding former partners, finances, and cosmetic procedures, she ultimately proclaimed "I do" to Gino Palazzolo in a subdued yet poignant wedding ceremony in Michigan. The cameras were operational. The spectators were applauding. Jasmine donned a form-fitting, ivory mermaid gown that adhered to her physique, while Gino sported his characteristic baseball cap, even during the ceremony. However, hardly 2 weeks after matrimony, the honeymoon phase concluded. It commenced modestly. A secured drawer. An enigmatic nocturnal message. Gino asserted it was merely work-related matters. However, Jasmine's intuition was aroused. I am aware when you are concealing information, Gino. You blink excessively, she remarked, confronting him in the kitchen. Gino, gripping his coffee mug defensively, stuttered. It's nothing, Jasmine. Text, I assure you, it is merely a colleague communicating regarding a project deadline. However, Jasmine had reached her limit of tolerance. She exited into the frigid Michigan air clad alone in a silk robe, exclaiming, You are deceiving me. I sacrificed everything for you, my career, my children, my existence. That evening, Gino reclined on the couch. The following morning, the situation deteriorated. Jasmine discovered an envelope concealed beneath a cereal box. Contained therein were printed photographs, antiquated, blurry depictions of Gino beside his former sweetheart. Certain individuals were blameless. Others, to a lesser extent. Jasmine erupted. You retained these? You asserted that she was insignificant. You professed your love for me. I completely overlooked their presence. Gino shouted, his voice faltering. I was unaware that those still existed. However, Jasmine remained unconvinced. You did not forget. You retained her because to your unresolved feelings for her. Both individuals wept. Subsequently, contended. Subsequently, wept once again. Subsequently that evening, TLC cameras recorded Jasmine preparing her luggage. I am uncertain whether I erred, she stated to the camera, dabbing her eyes. Perhaps I hastily entered into this marriage. Perhaps Gino is not the individual I perceived him to be. Concurrently, Gino occupied their bedroom, with his head in his hands. I adore her, he said. However, I am uncertain if love is sufficient any longer. As the program concluded, Jasmine stood outside the residence, suitcase in hand, gazing at the snow-covered road ahead. She was uncertain of her destination. She merely recognized her need for solitude. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Amelia. I hope your day is going well. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.